There, this is Real Talk Baseball on CarloBaseball. This is Ernie Orange. Of course, it's a Monday morning, May 5th, 2025. How's everybody else doing out there? Hopefully, you guys are listening, and we're going to go through a lot of stuff today. But before we go through that, Ernie, how's it going, man?
Hey, well, we're excited to be back on a Monday morning Cinco de Mayo celebration here for us. We're ready to talk baseball, man. It's the start of a fresh month, and a lot of teams are ready to start off to another fresh start for the month of May.
Yeah. And we start seeing some teams kind of dying out and then coming back into the mix. But I think we're starting to see the teams that are really going to be on top, start showing up a lot more. And we have. And it's kind of crazy seeing some of these teams that we thought weren't even going to make it to the top. But we'll talk about that. So we'll talk about the weekend recap. And of course, we'll talk about 10 MLB sluggers against one gorilla. So that list is going to be crazy, man. I'm ready. I'm kind of waiting to see what players are you choosing, Ernie. So
Yeah, you'll be surprised.
I got my slugger, so we'll talk about that. And we'll talk about Soto and does he have pressure out in New York? And I think there's a little bit of news out there, but they're playing good baseball. So we'll talk about that, of course, and then we'll go over a little power rankings and see if you guys agree or disagree. And if you're on here for the first time, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. We are live. We usually go on live on Sundays and sometimes on Mondays. We've been doing that Monday mornings before the first games start on Monday morning. So let's get to it, man. You want to go through your first recap of the AL?
Yeah, let's get it started. The AL series recap. It was a lot of upsets this weekend, a lot of shockers, a lot of teams
Yeah.
that were expected to win didn't. So the first matchup was actually the Tigers and Angels. The Tigers went ahead and won 3 out of 4 games in Anaheim. You know, they had a really strong offensive performance this weekend. They scored 34 runs in this series.
Damn.
It's tied for second most in their history and Tigers history on a series runs.
Mhm.
But the Angels pitching, man, it just continues to be their downfall. They cannot get it together, and they just seem to continue to struggle. But the Tigers, they're looking like a very scary team, and a team you do not want to face in October.
That's
It's
true.
AJ Hinch has his team playing at a great level with not that much star power, which is kind of surprising, you know?
Yeah.
But that's great to see.
Yeah.
Second, we had the Royals versus the Orioles. The Royals went ahead and took the series, winning 2 out of the 3 from Baltimore. They hit 7 home runs yesterday, solo shots to secure the series win. And the Royals win their first series in Baltimore since 2014, which is a big shocker. The Kansas City Royals are heading in the right direction and making some contention for the playoffs.
Yeah.
We have the Twins and Red Sox, which was a big shocker. The Twins went ahead and won the series, taking 2 out of 3. They rallied by scoring some late inning runs and back-to-back games, and they secured the series, which was a big shocker to a lot of people. The Red Sox continue to struggle a bit. They're playing 500 ball with a record of 18-18. And then they had the unfortunate news where Tristan Casas had a freak knee injury that he will be out for the rest of the season. So it's a big loss for them. Now they have to look for a first baseman permanently for the rest of the season.
Hey, but he's out for the season then?
He really is. Yeah. He
Dang.
torn fibula. It's a really freak knee injury that requires a lot of work.
Dude, well, there's still some players out there that can, fill that spot if they feel like they need to. But still, that's a big injury for the Red Sox. Big trades. We're getting ready for that.
Yep, that's gonna be a must trade area looking for the Red Sox going forward.
All right.
Next, we have the Rays and Yankees. The Rays went ahead and won 2 out of the 3 from the New York Yankees. The Yankees offense went kind of cold in crucial moments. And the Rays, with timely hitting, found ways to win. They're a gritty team. And Chandler Simpson in the base paths was a freak, man. And he made a big difference and a big impact against the Yankees this weekend. Then we have the Guardians and Blue Jays. The Guardians went ahead and took 2 out of 3 from Toronto. Daniel Schneemann, grand slam, go-ahead home run on the top of the 9th on Saturday. It was beautiful. He gave them the lead, and they won the game. The Blue Jays continue to struggle. Bullpen, man, they just being overworked. Their offense is not really providing run support for their starters, so the bullpen has working too much lately, and this Guardians team took advantage of this weekend.
Too many innings.
Too many innings.
Yeah.
You have the Astros and White Sox, and who do you think has it here? Surprisingly, the White Sox won the series, taking 2 out of 3 from the Astros. It was interesting to see because they were playing really great ball offensively. They actually got some timely hitting. And Lance McCullers was the only good sign for the Astros this week. I feel like he was able to come back from injury after 20. It's been a while since he played 2022 World Series. If I'm not mistaken.
I believe so. That's the last time he pitched.
Yeah, so he pitched 3 and 2/3 scoreless innings and looked like he was back to form. So that's the only positivity we have from Houston right now. But
Yeah,
they're also playing 500 ball in the mix. We don't know what we're going to get from this Houston team. They lost a lot of big names like Bregman and Tucker on the offseason. So
yeah.
we'll see. Lastly,
A quick question. Did you
yeah.
like the new uniform, the City Connects?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not a big Bulls fan, but I've always liked the Michael Jordan look to it. It just brought back, like, imagine if Michael Jordan was rocking this jersey because he
yeah,
did play for the White Sox minor league.
yeah.
This would have been so dope to see, man. I like the combination. I like how two teams from different leagues are able to bring in a city together and root for the same cause for the city.
True. I liked it, dude, because I think what was it? The cat had a shoe and then
Mm-hmm.
like a wing. Like I guess it was the Air Force One wing or something like that. Correct me if
Exactly.
I'm wrong. I'm not too hip into the fashion thing, but yeah, it looked pretty dope too. And the red and black, it just brings homage to the Chicago Bulls and when Michael Jordan was there. So I liked it too, man. It's pretty good. Pretty good.
Definitely, definitely. And lastly, the last game of the AL series was the Mariners and Rangers. The Mariners went ahead and won 2 out of the 3. The Rangers avoided the sweep yesterday by a strong pitching performance by Jacob deGrom. The Rangers offense continues to struggle, Carlos, and is not looking pretty. They just went ahead and fired one of their batting coaches,
Damn.
defensive coordinator. He is gone. Bruce Bochy is like, we need a fresh start. GM Chris Young said we need to start with a new guy. But this Mariners team continues to stay hot and they're looking kind of scary. I was one of the teams I said could be a shocker, and it is true. Their offense finally has gotten it together. Julio Rodriguez, Cal Raleigh, and little role players like Dylan Moore and Jorge Polanco making a big impact in that Mariners lineup. But
Dude.
that's it for the AL series, man. A lot of upsets, big shockers. But it's great. It's the month of May. It makes me question: are these teams just a little bit tired now, going into the second month of the season? But this is baseball.
It is.
Anybody can win any moment.
Yeah, and we're still not in the dog days of August. That's why they call them the dog days, because that's the month that gets super hot, and that's the month that everybody's just tired, scrambling around, making sure that they're trying to make the team to try to if you're gonna go make the playoffs. So I do see a little team. I do see a lot of teams getting tired and feel tired. But let's go to NL, man, and we'll start with the Nationals and Reds. The Nationals took 2 out of 3 out of that one. Green got 4. He's 4-2 now. His ERA is 2.53 ERA, which is pitching really good. So Hunter Green is doing really good, dude, out there. So I know he had one bad start, but he's doing good for the Reds. So we'll see. Let's go to the next one. We got the Padres. The Padres swept the Pirates, which was, on paper, it should have happened. So I think the Padres are playing good baseball. Did you see Tatis stealing home plate? It's questionable, right? It's a stolen base, or is it a wild pitch and then he stole it? I mean, I saw it as he didn't take off as soon as the pitcher threw home. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
see it as a stolen base. I see it as like, okay, the catcher had to get in front of it. And I'm not hating, dude. I'm not hating. I love when a runner steals home plate. But it's just I didn't see him run right off when the pitcher threw the ball. So I don't call it a stolen base. That's for me, it's not a stolen base. What do you think?
Yeah, it was definitely a wild pitch. The catcher does not make the play, and Tatis, with the speed he has, he took advantage. It's fine. I mean, if you want to call it a stolen base, it's fine for me, but it's definitely a wild pitch.
Yeah, definitely. But hey, I love it. That's good. He made a single into a double, and then he went to third, and then he stole home plate. So it all looks good on paper. When you go back on that game, you're like, damn, Tatis is a beast. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll leave it there. So let's go to D-backs, Phillies. Phillies took 2 out of 3 on that one. And that was a crazy series because I thought the D-backs were going to go in there and have more fight. See, the Phillies are winning the series that they're supposed to win. And we've been saying it all season long that the Phillies are just waiting to and staying around that 500 area and around the East with the Mets and the Braves. The Braves are not playing all that great, but still, like they're gonna catch fire. I think August, September, and that's what they do every year. So they're gonna move on to the A's and Marlins. The A's took 2 out of 3 of that one. Marlins, I mean, the Dodgers are facing them today, so we'll see what happens with the Marlins. But the Marlins need to pick up some players or put some players out. I know we saw the A's do that these past 3 or 2 seasons where they don't have a lot of players, but they're doing what they need to do, right? Playing in that minor league
Mm-hmm.
stadium out there. Then we have the Dodgers, Braves. They took 2 out of 3. They had the 4 o'clock game yesterday, which was the Sunday night game. So we did see the Braves have a little bit of a fight in them. and that's probably going to moving on is going to be good for them because they have Acuna coming in at the end of the month, and they have a lot of questions because now they have to decide who is going to move out of the outfield with all of them hitting around that 300 mark. So it's some
Yeah,
questions that need to be answered for the Braves, and it's a good, I guess, what do you call it? It's a good problem to
problem.
have in Atlanta because if you have like hitters that are not hitting, it's easy. But when you have all these hitters hitting in the outfield, you need to kind of decide, like, maybe I need to move Acuna somewhere. Maybe I can just put him in DH so he can rest his knee a little bit more. But
Yeah, that's
you
true.
know, right? All right, let's go to the Cubs and Brewers. The Cubs won 2 out of 3 out of that one. Damn, dude, the Cubs are playing good baseball. We talked about the Cubs last week. We said if they take 4 out of 6, this is what is expected. But if they would have took all games, because they did play the Pirates, I think they would have had a little bit of more of a power ranking moving forward because
Right.
there's a lot of teams that are winning and keep winning, and they have those winning streaks. So it's
Yeah,
crazy,
those
dude.
those Cubs look great, man. Kyle
Yeah,
Tucker, Pete Crow Armstrong, they're just making a huge impact in the lineup. And Michael Bush is also looking like a great role player as
yeah.
well. And pitching wise, they're just doing enough. I mean, they're fortunate injury to Shota and Managa this weekend, but I think they'll be just fine.
They'll be fine. Dude, you say Bush, he's hitting 300.
Yeah.
So man, and then PCA, he's turning out to be the trade of the year. So for the Cubs, it's looking good. The Mets and Cardinals, they went ahead. The Cardinals went ahead and won that series. That was a surprising one. I know there was a rain delay rain postponed game on Saturday. That's why they played a doubleheader yesterday. So I wouldn't look too much into it. That has a lot to do with it because if you're not home, you're just in the stadium waiting to see if they're going to play the game, and then they reach all the way to 8 p.m. and they decide no, they're not going to play. You go home, you got to wake up early, go to the park in the
Mhm.
morning, and this is really hard for these teams that are visiting. When you're the home team, and I mean, you have a bed in that stadium, you have places to go in that stadium, but for the visitor, it's not. So I wouldn't worry if you were the Mets. I think it was bound to happen. So,
Right.
Clay Holmes, dude, he's 4-1. He's pitching 2.95 ERA. So that's a great pickup from the Mets. We talked about Soto. He needs to start picking it up. But still, dude, I think that Clay Holmes, you talked about him a lot. He's doing really good, man. Really good.
Yeah, he's been a big surprise. A guy that went from the bullpen to a starter role. Makes you question what were the Yankees doing. I mean, the Yankees needed starting pitching all last season, and
Yeah,
he never got given the opportunity. And the Mets went ahead and we need pitching. So
true.
Clay Holmes is taking advantage of the moment right now, and he's pitching lights out and having some nasty stuff out there. This Mets pitching is doing so great. Look at Griffin Canning, a guy that came from the Angels.
Yeah,
He had a lot of upside, but the Angels coaching staff could never get him right. He goes to New York and finds himself doing the right things. You see guys every year. Luis Severino was another example last year.
yeah.
So you got to give credit to the Mets pitching staff. They're doing something great out there. David Stearns doesn't have to spend that much money on pitching, and he finds good, cheap players to pay, and they still deliver. So
They,
it's good. It's good for the Mets.
it is, dude. It is. So
Look at Jose Quintana, another example. They
another
brought him
one.
back
Yeah.
from like the guy that was just a role player, just bouncing around. And he still went to another team this year, but Jose Quintana looked like an ace last year to the Mets.
Yeah, he did. And you know what's crazy, dude? That the Mets had the number one pitching ERA. Now they went down to number two, but still they're doing good. They're pitching good, dude. And I would be lying if I say that, oh, I expect them to suck from here on out. No, I think right now that's when we're finding their form and we're finding their stride. And that's when we start seeing these teams that belong on top, like I said at the beginning of the show, to show out. And the last series I'm gonna talk about is the Rockies and Giants. The Giants took 3 out of 4 of that one. That one was surprising that the Rockies were battling against the Giants, giving the Giants a little bit of hard time. The Rockies did have a 2-game winning streak, if you guys didn't know. A 2-game winning streak for the Rockies is something crazy to talk about because we can see that the Rockies are going to go after that, or not going or trying to go after that worst record ever, but it seems that they're going to go after it. And I don't know what the Rocky ownership are thinking about. I don't know if that's what they want to do, but they're looking like they're only going to win 32 games this season. And
Mm.
that's the lowest ever, dude. That's the lowest ever. Like, if you're a Rockies fan, I'll be mad, dude. I'll be super mad what they're doing out there in Colorado. You're
Yeah,
looking at that team and they're a bunch of minors, dude. minor league players.
It's unfortunate, man. It's a team that pitching staff can't get it together. Kyle Freeland, Herman Marquez, the guys that you expected to do much better this year are just not finding ways to win. They're just throwing meatballs down the middle, and teams are taking advantage. You got Michael Toglia, a big expectations this year to go do things, and he didn't do it. You got Brenton Doyle, a guy that played really great last year and is also struggling. And it doesn't help that Chris Bryant's in the IL again. And then Ezekiel Tovar, a guy you expected to take over short and play really well, like he did last year, also banged up. Ryan McMahon, a guy that also played really well last year, is not performing. So I think it's contagious there, man. The players are just not finding no motivation, no drive, and it just continues to be a daily struggle for them.
Yeah,
they try to compete. You give it props to them, but like this weekend against the Giants, but it's not looking pretty. And if you're a Rockies fan, I think you're demanding better for your franchise because you cannot continue to struggle like this year in and year out and expect fans to show up to the stadium.
Yeah, dude. And then you have Ezekiel Tovar that's injured. He was one of the top players for the Rockies last year. And I mean, I guess it's a bone bruise on his hip or something like that. And he still hasn't come back. So, I mean, that has a lot to do with it. He was a leader, not a leader last year, but he was one of the top players last year. So maybe that's that once he comes back, that'll help. But then you have Chris Bryant, too, that hasn't performed. He's been getting paid a lot of money. And I mean, is it time for him to quit? Is it time for him to hang him up? And it's just sucks, man, for the Rockies. Like we talked about this same situation with the White Sox last year on how they're not putting talent out in the field, and the fans should be demanding more. Which I don't see I don't see a lot of Rocky fans, going onto social media and doing, which they should, and they need to stop, like being friendly and saying, hey, let's start putting a good team out there. Remember, they traded Nolan Arenado for peanuts, dude. They didn't get anything out of it. I think, right? They could have got so much out of it. That was a really bad trade. All right, let's go, man. Anything else on the Rockies, or you vented everything you needed to say about it?
I think I vented enough. That was just enough to talk. I mean, this is a 6-win team, and like I said, I'm not sure how many more wins they're expected to have. They are having a series this weekend against the Tigers, and it's gonna be not even easy. So. Poor Rockies, man. They have a tough schedule up ahead.
True. All right, let's go to the main topic of what we're going to be talking about. And this one's the main, that's our title's name after this. So 10 MLB Sluggers against one Gorilla. And I know if you guys heard it's 100 people against one Gorilla. And usually there's like 3 or 4 humans that come out against a Gorilla. So Gorilla's a strong ass dude. But I decided to say, let's get 10 Sluggers. Of course, they have their bats. They'll be able to use their bats.
Really? Okay.
yeah, I think so, right? Let's use bats or no bats. No bats or bats.
No bats.
No bats.
Okay, yeah, they're gonna. Okay, look, they're not gonna use their. They're gonna be like, okay, no bats, and then the moment they start struggling, bring the bats on and bring the baseballs.
Yeah, there's and let's do all time, or you want to do? In their prime, right? Because look, like I said, a Gorilla's super strong, dude. Okay. I don't see 10 Sluggers beating, just an open fist.
If we use MLB all times, this is kind of like a cheat code. The reason why is because you have a lot of guys part of the steroid era, and there were some big dudes back then.
Dude, I want to do. You can do modern time, and I can do steroid era because I know I can pick a bunch of them from there that can.
All right,
try to beat this.
Go ahead with the steroid era. Go ahead with the steroid era.
So steroid era, I'm not gonna diss this guy. I'm gonna go after Barry Bonds, man. He's gonna swing and he's not gonna miss. So if that Gorilla's coming after him, he's gonna swing and hit him right in the face. That's my number 1. My number 2, Jose Canseco, dude. You see how big that dude is? He's huge. He's huge, man. He's another steroid dude that has a lot of anger and has, I think he could beat one of these Gorillas up. Number 3, Frank Thomas, dude. Frank Thomas is a tall ass dude that has a lot of power. I don't know if you ever saw his forearms. That man can go ahead and take a tree out of the freaking ground. So by itself. That's number 3. Number 4, I think I'm gonna go after. You remember Albert Bell? Albert Bell used to play with the White Sox. He used to play. Did he play for the Indians? I want to say he did.
Yes.
That guy had anger issues. And of course, you need people on this list that's gonna have a lot of anger issues and gonna do some crazy stuff. So if that Gorilla is mad, you have this guy matching his energy, and I need that on there. So
Oh
That's
wow.
number 4. Let's go number 5. I'll add Albert Pujols. Why would I add Albert Pujols? Because that's another guy that can go ahead and surprise you and hit some dingers off of this freaking gorilla. You know, he can hit him in the face, wherever it needs to go. So that's number 5. Number 6, this one where I had a little bit of trouble because I wanted to keep the steroid area together, but I have to go a little bit modern on this. I have to go with Aaron Judge, dude. Aaron Judge is another tall ass dude that I need out there. Why? Because, dude, he's hitting for something this season. He's not gonna miss. He's not gonna miss. He's not gonna miss if he's coming at you. Like, you need someone tall that's gonna be, it's gonna be ready to take it. And another one that it's gonna take is Stanton and Judge. They need to be on there. They're tall ass dudes. They're strong ass dudes.
Really, Stanton? He'll probably be the
Stanton.
first one out, man. With all those injuries, can't trust him
Hey,
to fight.
that's why I don't have him at number 1. I have him on what I had Judge at 6. I have Stanton at 7. 7's a good number for that to go out. So that's going to be my takeout guy. He's going to be my first one that's going to be off the list. But I just want him out there because he's a strong ass dude. He's really tall. I think I'm picking tall ass dudes that have big old biceps and, look like they can squabble a little bit.
Man, you're going for all the 6'5" and above guys.
Exactly. Hey, a gorilla, super strong, dude. I mean, look at that picture right there. You wouldn't be intimidated. Let's say if you were 7 foot, you still will be intimidated by that thing, right? Like a Shaq O'Neal. If Shaq O'Neal was gonna fight with you, wouldn't you be intimidated? Hell yeah, I would. That's a big ass dude. Like, man, I don't know, man. I just feel like I wouldn't fight with these. All right, let's go to number 8. So number 8, I need a quick guy, dude. I need someone that's going to be moving super fast and strong at the same time, dude. Jarren Duran, dude. I'm going to have him out there because he's super strong. I don't know if you've seen his workouts. I don't know if you've seen his biceps. And it's just a big ass dude, man. So okay. I need him out there. Number 9, I need Tatis, dude. He did steroids as well. And that guy is super flexible to where if a gorilla gets him, he can flex, he can probably get out of there or he can help, being part of that team that I'll take it for the team, so I'll be out there. Him and Stanton will be my number 2 skinny guys that are going to be moving and possibly getting torn up, but I don't know. They're strong ass dudes. And then my last one, I don't know. Do you want to go through your list and then I'll say my last one? But no. I think I'll just say it.
You just need one more, Carlos.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Well, go for it.
No. Let me just say it. So my last one would probably be a pitcher, man.
I'm about to say you have not had a pitcher. I already have a lot of pitchers on my list.
So that's my lineup, and I need a pitcher, and I need someone that's going to be out there and kind of coaching everybody and having that anger out there. Remember, I said Albert Bell had anger management issues. So Nolan Ryan, dude, will be the one that's going to be. He has some anger issues as well, and he's going to tell you how it is to your face. And I think Nolan Ryan's number 10. I don't know if you guys saw that fight in the 90s against Robin Ventura. A younger Robin Ventura, and he still whooped his ass. So I need him out there. So yeah, that's my list, dude. I don't know if you agree or disagree, but I think those guys can take on this gorilla and knock him out.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy given the fact that they have bats and they're pretty big dudes. I'm sure you can go with Frank Thomas though. That was the big hurt. Yeah, that would have been a good guy to have too.
Yeah. Now, I did pick Frank Thomas number 4.
Oh, did you? Okay. I must have missed that one. But just want to throw that out there. A gorilla, the average size of a gorilla is 4'5". So they're not too big. They're really short. And they weigh about 300 pounds. 310, 320. The average. Now, so my list, I kind of went with a little bit more shorter guys. I want to go with speedy guys, like you said. Guys that are able to tackle this gorilla. Somebody with the same height length that are able to kind of defend like if they're a lineman in football. So while these guys are blocking him, you have other guys from the back hitting him with a bat. So this is my advantage. First player I've got to go with Aaron Judge. You do need a big guy with power. Aaron Judge would definitely be that for you. Like you said, you want to go with a guy that's really angry and mad at all the time. Tommy Pham. That guy will shock you. And, I think Tommy Pham would just do something wild, bro. And he's going to do ways to beat this gorilla.
Yeah.
Third, Aroldis Chapman, the Cuban Missile. You do not want to mess with him. He will beat you up.
That's a strong ass dude too, man. You seen his workouts?
Yes. Fourth, Blatty Jr. I want to get a guy that's around the same kind of build that could block this gorilla. And Blatty Jr. is that guy. He's strong as heck. Have you seen Blatty Jr.'s workouts?
Yeah, I have.
They're
He lost a
tough.
lot of weight this year, though.
Yeah.
You
But
still good with that?
He has a
Even
lot of
better?
muscle strength, it's all muscle.
All right.
Fourth, I would like Bobby Witt. I think he provides a speed that we need on the base paths, and the first thing you want to do is get this gorilla tire. I don't think this gorilla's conditioned enough to take the speed and running around these players. So you want a guy that could run around and get the gorilla tired. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give me Tommy Tanks. There's another guy. He's small, but I mean, you need a guy that, like I said, needs to block this gorilla.
So you're having these guys go out there with a strategy, then? That's what you're doing.
It's a strategy. It's gonna be like football. You're gonna get the short guys go block these gorilla from the left and right side, while the big powerful guys like Judge and Chapman come from the back and throw 100-mile fastballs, and Judge hitting them with the bat.
See, my guys are just gonna go like I said. I'm gonna throw Stanton and Tatis in the front, and I'm gonna have everybody surrounding them and just hitting them with bats, and then that's it. That's it.
That's it. Just easy. I have a whole game plan, Carlo. You got the speedy guys running around him in circles. You got 2 guys blocking him, like if it was a football game, and then you have Aaron Judge, Tatis, Blatty Jr. hitting them from the back or the front.
All right.
Another one. I did choose Tatis. I think I would have to go with Tatis. I think you're totally right on that case. And
Number
give me
7?
Spencer Strider, because I think Spencer Strider could block. With those quads and legs he has, he could push this gorilla a bit back. And
okay.
That's the guy that you need.
That's number 7?
I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8. I need your help. I need 2 more players.
Okay, so you have number 7, you have Tatis, and then you have Strider number 8?
Yes.
Okay. Let me put Tatis down here. Because we want to post this, man. We have to. Maybe we could get the conversation started. All right, so you got 2 more to go. If you're going with strategy, with what you're doing, with what you're saying, and you want to go small guy, big guy,
I feel like I need another big guy. Give me Nolan Arenado.
Nolan Arenado, yeah, that's not a bad one. You got okay.
I would trust him and his instincts to do anything possible to take down this gorilla.
All right. And okay, so number 10, man, you have to go with someone that's going to be hitting, has strategy, has a little bit of notion of what's going on. I think you should go with Ohtani, dude. You forgot Ohtani.
You think so?
Dude, why not? Like I would want to have him on my team, but like I said, I want someone that's going to have that anger and rage like Nolan Ryan to command this team, dude. So
Ohtani have that rage though. Ohtani's not that. He's a nice.
He's too apologetic. He's gonna go back and look at the gorilla and be like, "Hey, man, I'm sorry." Like, you know how he fouls off of the catcher and he tells him he's sorry. Like, dude, it's not your fault. Like, relax. Or he hits the ball to the dugout and he's like, "Hey, my bad, sorry." Like, no, dude, you don't tell the bat and ball where they're going. Like, you just swing in and you're hoping it's gonna hit the field. You're not gonna hit it foul ball. Like, come on, man.
We need a catcher.
You need a catcher? Oh, all right. You want to stay
active.
Damn. That's a good one. Who you want someone that has rage, no rage?
A tough guy.
A tough guy. Damn. I don't see anybody that's tough
that's why, right?
Like in the 90s, dude, you had so many people that had that rage, like Ivan Rodriguez,
Exactly.
Posada had that anger. You had Molina, like, will get in your face if you needed to. You had the Red Sox catcher, what's his name? Veritek. I already said Posada
in this
right?
era right now, we don't have any catcher that's like that type of guy, right? Like Austin Wells, Will Smith, Adley Rushman, Logan O'Hoppe, Contreras brothers. I think
maybe they have a little bit of anger. The Contreras brothers, they have a little bit.
Yeah,
but maybe they're the okay. So maybe not so much. Maybe the catchers that talk crap and will get in your face.
There's not that many, man. There's not that many.
There's not, dude. But you got to choose your 10, man. You got to choose your 10. I think your 10th could be the commanding officer or the anger police or someone that's gonna direct all these guys to do what you want them to do. Because remember, you're the coach. You're putting them out there. So
yeah, for sure. There's just a lot of guys that I wouldn't choose because I just think they would be too easy on this gorilla. I want somebody's going to be really tough. And this is where the case gets really difficult right now because, man, I already got Tatis, I already got Judge, Tommy Pham, Chapman, Bobby Witt, Strider, Tatis, and Blatty.
Yeah,
I need a mean guy, Carlos.
a
Mean
mean
guy.
guy. Who's the meanest guy right now, man? I mean, what about Machado? He's not liked by so many, but is he not liked because he talks too much, or he's not liked because he likes to fight?
Does he like to
Right?
fight? You know, we got to go with Machado. Give him
You
the
think?
benefit of the doubt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's
a
an angry
built guy
guy.
too. He's built.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's built. Oh, it's not a bad list though.
they
It's a
give me
good list.
Machado. Yeah, man. You got two angry guys like Tommy Pham and Chapman. I think we have a good chance, bro.
Well, I got nothing but steroid anger on my team, dude. And with bats, I think easily, but I think without bats, that's the question. If you do my list with bats, I think they can accomplish this with maybe one or two getting injured, or maybe end up
Especially Stanton. He'll be the
yeah.
first one out.
He'll get hurt swinging or
No, I think the moment he sees a gorilla, he's like, I got to go to the IL.
he got to go to the IL. Once he hits it, we're like, nah, we're done.
Yeah, I'm out of here. Peace out.
Hey, well, so all right, so I got 9 guys that are gonna keep going. So I need that guy, that distraction. So that distraction is there. But if they go fist up against this guy, like I have so much anger, so much rage, roid anger on this team that I think they can knock them out, and they can come with a W. But yeah, dude, we have Kevin put out here 10. They need bats from the beginning, and even then, gorilla all day. So he's rooting for the gorilla. So
Wow.
it's just, dude, it's just I've been hearing this question everywhere. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's saying like, "Hey, who would win if we had like 100 men going against one gorilla?" And I believe only 3 survive if you go with the 10 with 100, and you have no
Wow.
weapons, no weapons. So here, let's do it a little bit more baseball theme, which we did. So you have
Right.
good chances. You feel like these guys could be the guys that can knock them out, Ernie, and take the W.
I mean, I say 2 of the 10 guys will make it alive. I think the rest will probably get beat up still, but that's okay. I mean, at the end of the day, you want to take down the gorilla, and that's all that matters. And you're talking about 10 MLB players, right? These guys are
Yeah,
really athletically built.
yeah,
They work out on a daily basis. It's so hard to make it to the MLB, so that just tells you the work ethic they already have. So that's why we have 10 compared to 100, because
hmm
100 MLB players would be, I think we have a better shot, right? But with
yeah,
10, you're talking about the 10 strongest MLB players. I mean,
yeah,
it's crazy, man. These gorillas are not even that big. I mean, they're 300 pounds, but you're talking about the height wise. You think you would just be able to stomp them with a 7-footer coming into you, but no, these gorillas have power, and they could take easily some MLB players too, man.
See, the thing with the gorilla though, dude, a lot of people think that they know their strength. They don't know their strength. They don't know how strong they really are. They're stronger with their mouth, if you didn't know that. They have a lot of pounds of pressure on it, and they don't even know that. So imagine they start ripping you out with their mouth, then you have no chance because they're stronger when it comes to that. I think the per pound per I don't know what it is, but I think they're up there with the wolf, because the wolf has a lot of strength in their bite as well. So I mean, damn, dude, this is crazy. We started talking about gorillas and
What is going on? Well, how did we go from a baseball show to an animal show talking about battles? But okay, it was a
yeah.
great topic. It's definitely one of the hottest trends right now on social media.
And
100,
we cannot
100
go.
people,
We
one
cannot
gorilla.
go and not talk about it. Of course, we have to talk about it.
Definitely,
All right.
definitely.
So we've been seeing a lot of teams jumping out of the dugout, jumping out of the bullpen, and there's no swings even taken, or even getting face to face with players. And if this was to happen, of course, I think that'll make sense. The gorilla coming out and then the players coming out of the bullpen, and I'll be like, hell yeah, we got a fight that's gonna break out for sure. But when you start seeing players like, you start seeing players like, you know, you start seeing players jump out of the bullpen even for the smallest thing. Do you agree with what's going on with MLB, like with these bullpens coming out for nothing?
Yeah, totally. It's been interesting these past couple of weeks. We've had a couple incidents where benches have been clearing. It's pretty interesting to see that these teams are trying to like run out to the dugout and to the field and try to just talk smack when nothing really happens. They just get told to not do anything. It's pretty lame. It's annoying. When I see a highlight saying bench is cleared, I'm like, who cares? Were punches thrown? No. Okay, who cares? Next scene. I mean, it's really ridiculous. You're talking about guys running from the bullpen from all the way from the outfield, just trying to see what's going on. Like, bro, just stay watching it on TV. There's no reason to go out there. Nobody's throwing no punches. Nobody wants to get suspended. Nobody wants to get fined. Let's just stop it. Let
Yeah,
two guys argue it out. Who cares? That's all you
yeah,
need. You had an
yeah,
incident with Zach Neto and Turek Schoolball. Zach Neto hit a opening bomb against him in the first inning, and Schoolball in the next at bat struck him out and had something to say to him. And Zach Neto responded. And
yeah,
it's okay. It's a good old confrontation, like old school. Talk
yeah,
back, talk your shit. And no,
yeah,
everybody decides to come out from the dugout for what? There was no reason at all. So it's been kind of annoying. This bench is clearing. We just want to throw that at even as fans, we're getting kind of frustrated. If you ain't throwing punches, then get the hell. Don't come out.
No, don't waste my time. Like, I'm getting all excited. Are there going to be punches thrown? No, there's not. But I did like the Sagneto and Schoolball, to be honest. Sagneto hit the home run, and he did kind of watch a little bit, but that's all hitters now. All hitters hit it. They watch it a bit, and they do a little bat flip, and they run around the bases. Right? Schoolball struck him out, and then he looked at him. And, dude, I really like that. I really like that at least someone that's a pitcher is looking at the hitter and be like, yeah, I got you. I got you.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sagneto should have said, "Man, I got you first, dude. Like, what the hell? What are you talking about? Get back to pitching. Worry about that." And maybe we could have had a fight. Maybe we could have got more, a heated argument or something. Because, dude, that's old school. That's old school. And I think pitchers need to start stepping up and start doing the same thing. Stare them down or do something. Do a Bumgarner. Like Bumgarner was one of those pitchers that was trying to strike everybody out. And then when one of the hitters would hit it to the lake or hit it wherever, off of them.
Weak style.
Yeah. Exactly. That one's a classic. That happened a lot of times. And Bumgarner would stare him down and like, what? Come on, run the bases, get out of here. Like, I don't want to see you anymore. And of course the hitter would be like, man, go get the ball, dude. Or like Muncy told him, go get the ball out of the freaking ocean.
Damn, like that, huh?
Yeah. So I think, dude,
those were some classic at bats, and it was good old confrontation between players, and it was that rivalry hate that they had, and it was great for the game of baseball. And that's what we don't have these days. You have a lot of respect within players. Players just treat each other nice. They smile at one another. They lose a game, and they don't care. They're just like, yeah, we're going home.
Yeah.
While these fans are all pissed that they lost, and these players don't seem to care. It's a frustration as fans because we want to see these guys go head to head, and
especially with the rivals, especially against the rivals. That's a good one. Especially against the rivals, we want to see that. We would want to see all these things happening, but like it's happening right now, everybody's friendly. I don't mind the friendliness either because if you're watching baseball as a kid, you're trying to see like, oh man, these kids are getting. I mean, these baseball players are getting along. But at the same time, when I was growing up and I was seeing all this and I was seeing all this rivalry and this fighting and all this stuff, I was like, damn, that's aggressive. Like that's pretty good. Mm-hmm. Your intensity as a ball player increases because now you have those I guess those steroids rage starts building up and you start playing a lot better baseball. And in that era, everybody was hitting 340, 360, like batting average. So isn't it when the bullpen empties and the dugout empties, don't they suspend the two guys that were involved in that situation?
Just for a benches clearing?
Yeah.
No, not necessarily. It depends what really happened.
Was that only COVID?
No. I mean, I don't remember.
Because when COVID, remember they had to have 10 feet distance. And if they had an argument, I think it'll be an automatic suspension. And I think they took it on to 2022. All the way to 2022, even probably 2023, if I'm not mistaken. But
oh wow,
yeah. So I thought they still had it, and they made it a rule to where if the bench is clear and if the bullpen clears, then you're delaying the game. Remember, they're trying to shorten the game. So that being said, maybe they probably said, "Hey, I want a day off." If there's something like that, come out.
I definitely see why they would get fined or suspended based on the time they lag the game. Because you're right, they're trying to speed the game. And this is definitely delaying part of the game by drastically a lot. By the time you get all the players back onto their dugout, it takes a while. Yeah. But now it depends on the scenario. I think most of the times when we do have benches clearing moments is when pitchers throw at hitters. Hitters get upset. They're trying to fight them. Like, hey, you hit my guy yesterday. Why are you hitting me today? It's one of those where you went towards my head and you're trying to take me out. So I feel like for those, that's where we see a little bit more suspensions when the pitcher is actually aiming for a pitch, like a batter's head. then you're like, okay, suspend the guy because he caused all this chaos. But for
Yeah.
a scenario like Zach Neto, Tarek Schoolball, just two guys talking smack to one another, yeah, I don't see that one.
Yeah. All right. Well, it happened with the Angels. That's cool, man. I would have liked for them to really get on it and fight out there. But let's talk about Soto, man. And Soto has been a topic lately because there have been interviews that he hasn't been hitting all that great. He's been getting on base like you're supposed to, but I don't see a problem. I see his average at 256, at which I've always seen it. He's that type of hitter where he's at 240, 270 in between that area. If he does a little bit better than that, that's great. But his on base percentage is what, a lot of teams were looking for when he was a free agent. They asked him if he has pressure out in New York. He said there's no pressure. I don't know, man. I do see that he has a little bit of pressure. We've been seeing a quiet Soto, not the Soto that we're used to, smiling, laughing with his teammates and being out there. Do you see any pressure? Do you see anything wrong with Soto and with the Mets?
Yeah, you're totally right. I mean, his personality has changed a lot this year. His like stare downs has changed. He doesn't do it as often no more. He just doesn't seem like he's in his head, like he's in his head right now because he's not performing that well. He is batting 256 batting average. He only has 5 home runs, 14 RBIs, a total of 33 hits. You're expecting way better numbers for a guy that's getting paid $765 million deal.
Yeah.
It's a guy that is supposed to be the best hitter in the game if you're getting paid this much money.
Yeah.
And he's looking like it. I mean, obviously his on-base percentage is doing much better. He's 375. He walks a lot.
Yeah.
But for a guy getting paid that much money, he should not be performing like the numbers of a role player right now, basically. So the pressure's on. I mean, it's only 1 month, but that's always happens. These big contracts, bigger expectations. Yeah. And I mean, obviously the Mets are in first place, so I guess he can't be upset at that. He is making a big presence in the lineup and providing that, support the Mets need, but it's not the numbers that we were expecting for a guy getting paid this much money.
Exactly.
So is the pressure on? Yes. After 1 month, I think he needs to deliver, and I think he'll find his groove. It's just a matter of time. It's Juan Soto, and he's been times like that even with San Diego where he underperformed and then bounced back last season with the Yankees,
Yeah, and that's the thing with the Mets. They expect excellence right off the bat. Remember, this team has been together. You bring in the guy that's going to be winning more than your superstars, which was Pete Alonso, which he got signed this offseason. And then you have Lindor that's getting paid 300 plus that you brought him in, and he was the star. Now you bring in Soto. Does that have a problem in that dugout? Because, when they hit home runs and walk-offs and stuff like that, I don't see Soto in those celebrations. I don't see him be up front, be that team captain out there. And that to me is concerning because I know it's just 1 month of baseball and everybody's saying that, oh, okay, well, he's probably just goes, congratulates him and then walks in. Well, not even in that situation. I haven't seen it. And if the Mets want to go further, there's a lot of baseball to go on, of course. If the Mets want to go forward, they would want to have some trades to make them feel more comfortable. Why? Because you can go ahead and get one of his friends and just put him on the roster, not even have to use him. As long as he's his buddy out in the freaking dugout, he'll be okay. And a lot of teams do that sometimes. They try to get that one player that's going to be with your superstar, even if they don't play. So maybe it's that situation with Juan Soto. Like I said, the Mets have been together in 2 years already. Now bringing in this superstar into that team, it's taking them a while to be part of that team. And I mean, only time will tell. And he's not doing horrible like everybody thinks he is. He's not doing like he's not hitting 210 like if that'll be concerning. But then his presence at the plate is huge as well. That's another big part that doesn't get put on numbers because there's no number for plate appearance. There's no number that tells you this guy's intimidating. There's no number out there that can tell you like, hey, I'm a pitcher around this guy because he's going to hit a home run. I'd rather have Lindor hit a home run or Pete Alonso hit a home run against me. I'm not going to allow Juan Soto to do that. So that's crazy. And he's not one of those players that will get frustrated for taking that walk. He likes that. He likes that. Now, it would be another thing if he would hate that with getting walk and then be frustrated like they're not pitching to me. He's not saying that at all. So, I mean, it's all part of it. It's all part of the game.
I just want to say that Juan Soto change of scenery, going to the other side of town to Shea Stadium in New York must have been a big change for him. and change of scenery is tough on a lot of people, especially when you go to the rival New York team, New York Mets, after being with the Yankees. You got to remind yourself, in New York, the Yankees dominate way more than the Mets, and they
Yeah,
have more to prove it, right? They've had won so many championships compared to the Mets. So you going to the Mets, you become like a villain in New York in
yeah,
the sense that you left us for them.
yeah.
This
You left
team's not
27 World Series to go to them. Like,
exactly.
yeah,
So, and I feel like people in New York are probably looking at them different. You're not that guy that we once thought. You're Juan Soto. You were supposed to bring New York Yankees back on top, but you were scared to win, so you left and you ran for the money. So I think it must be tough when people see you in New York or you're out in the streets and people don't treat you with the same type of respect they once had when you had a Yankee uniform.
yeah.
So it's tough. And change of scenery takes a time for a lot of people to adjust, to adapt. So I mean, obviously he's still in New York, but it's with the crosstown rivals that are not very well liked by other New York fans.
And there's more Yankee fans than there is Mets fans, so that's what it is too, man. Imagine living in a city that are gonna look at you different because you're not part of the team that or the elite team of the state or the city.
Yeah.
That must hurt. So yeah, I mean he'll be okay. He's winning good money. It's guaranteed. It's not like he's not. It's football where he doesn't perform. They cut you. They let you go. They don't have to pay you. So
Yeah.
good for him. All right, let's move on to the next one. This one's the power rankings, dude. The power rankings we had last week. It was a lot different. We had the Mets on top because they were playing good baseball. We put the Mets down because they did lose 2 out of 3 against the Cardinals. And I mean, anything that you guys would want to change from here, let us know, and we can talk about it. I mean, we just started doing the whole 30 teams. The whole 30 teams is really hard to do. We're looking at averages. We're looking at batting. We're looking at pitching. We're looking at matchups. A lot of people were telling me on TikTok, like, why is the Cubs number 3? Which a lot of people didn't agree. But guess what? The Cubs didn't win the series they were supposed to win. The Cubs were playing a little bit the teams that weren't on top level, right? We did say last week that they were supposed to win 4 out of 6, and they did this week. But you're looking at matchups the Dodgers had. You had looking at matchups the Mets had. You're looking at matchups the Tigers had and the Padres.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking at all that as well. So it's a little hard. It did change. Remember, we had the Phillies on 12, and we moved them now to 10. They're playing a lot better baseball. Seems like the Phillies always show up when the big time team comes into town, dude.
Yeah.
Right? And that's
Which
a
is
good
good.
thing. Yeah.
That's a really good thing. You don't want to look
That's
like the weak team. When you face these better teams, you want to compete and you want to show that you have enough what it takes to overtake them, even when you see them in the postseason.
yeah.
With these other teams, probably with like a Rays, Twins, and they're to face them, they'll probably take it easy on them.
Yeah.
But this is a big, big series win for the Phillies, and that's why they jump in 10 this week because I think they finally made some noise and they're playing way better. They're 6-4 in their last 10, and I think that's pretty good.
Yeah. And the Padres could have possibly be number 3 or number 4 as well. It's just these teams ahead of them are playing they're playing the same type of ball. And I remember the Padres are coming out of a 3-7 stretch that kind of dropped them a little bit to number 8 or 9, which brought them into the fifth spot now. The Giants are another team that we're playing a lot better. They lost to the Padres, and that's where the Padres increased their power ranking. So it's not that we're hating on these teams. It's not that. It's just we're looking at matchups. We're looking at everything. We're looking at pitching. Like I said, the Mets had the best pitching average, and now they dropped to second. You have the Padres moving up on that one. So it's kind of crazy that we have the Tigers in 4. But
yeah,
right, the way they're playing baseball, it's just I could possibly see them number 2 in the near future, dude, and maybe possibly 1.
Is this Tiger team the best American League team right now?
Whew, definitely, dude. I think if everybody has been seeing this show, I've been saying the Tigers were a team that surprised me, dude. And I'm gonna keep saying it. I didn't pick them to win no division or no wild card, and this is really showing that the Tigers belong in this mix on top. Because we were saying that, or I was saying that, oh no, I don't see the Tigers coming back and doing the same thing they did last year, making the playoffs. But dude, they have a pitching staff that's going to be incredible, led by Scooble. You have his intensity, you have his grid, you have he's a Cy Young, dude. you know.
Yeah.
So why not? But
You
like I
had
said,
Jack Flaherty to the mix, Casey Mize, Reese Olson, Jackson
yeah,
Jovi, a young
Jackson.
stud
Oh,
like.
dude,
And then offensively, they just keep raking, man. You know, it's a team that swept the Orioles. They did take 2 out of 3 from San Diego. This weekend, they had a little hiccup against the Astros, losing 2 out of 3, but it's okay. And then they bounce back and beat the Angels, beat the heck out of them
yeah,
all weekend long. So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
a Tigers team that is very scary, and it could make a deep run in the playoffs because AJ Hinch knows what he's doing and how he's building around these guys. You know, he has Kerry Carpenter hitting lights out, Riley Green. You have Javi Baez finally finding himself again, batting over 300.
Playing
Spencer
center field.
playing center field. You got Spencer Torkelson, the former #1 pick in 2020, looking finally like a stud, like he was supposed to.
Yep,
They're finding ways to win,
they
and
are. They are. They're
Zach
playing small ball,
McKinstry,
long ball, and everything that you
anyway,
need to do.
they'll
Yeah,
beat you.
anything. And you know what? You did bring that you brought it up, which was good. They're doing the same thing the Astros were doing in 2017. Of course, without the cheating scandal. Forget that. Let's put that aside. With the Astros did not need to cheat with Agent Hintz doing what he was doing, managing that team. And now we're seeing it without cameras, without cheating with the Detroit Tigers. And this is going to be a scary team if they keep this core going and they possibly get a power bat out in the trading deadline, which I don't think they need right now. But you know, you never can go wrong and going to get that hitter to kind of help you with that. One thing that I do want to say is that you went ahead and signed Jack Flaherty again, and everybody was probably saying like, "Why are you going after him again? We already had him. We traded him away." Well, you let him go get that leadership skill that he probably needed to try to win that World Series. Now you have someone that knows how to get to the World Series, knows how to pitch in that pressure playoff, knows how to pitch in the World Series all the way through, and winning the World Series and getting drunk in the parade as well.
Yeah, I mean,
He was really lit.
Jack Flaherty went ahead and got his World Series ring, comes back to Detroit, and he wants to prove now that he can win it out here for Detroit. You know,
Yeah.
it's interesting. There were sellers last year, the Tigers were, and they still made it to the playoffs. So
They did.
it's pretty
They did.
interesting.
They did. So yeah, they are the best in the American League. That to answer your question, I don't see another team that's doing it. The closest one, the Guardians, probably, and of course the Yankees. But I'm just waiting for Aaron Judge to get injured, and then that's gonna
Damn, like
that ship is gonna sink, dude. As much as I try to say that the Yankees are good, I just feel like they didn't do enough in the offseason, dude.
You know, that torpedo bats was like hot for the month of April, but it's kind of slowly been dying out.
Yeah.
And offensively, the Yankees have just not been making noise besides Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge is the only one good sign from them offensively. Like I said, time and time again, the starting pitching really concerns me. You know, you got Will Warren as your guy, Clark Schmidt kind of banged up. You still don't have Luis Gil back. And then Max Fried is their only answer, too. I feel like every 5 starts, Max Fried is very dominant. They secure a win, but not being able to win against the Rays, a gritty team like them, you had to secure that series win against the Rays this weekend, and that was a tough way to go out.
That's a division rival too. You got to think about that.
They play them hard.
When you play your division rival, of course you're gonna not always come out with the outcome that we're expecting. Why? Because it's a division rival. It's like when you start facing the Orioles, they start facing the Red Sox. The Red Sox are playing 500 ball right now, but as soon as they go into Yankee Stadium, they can go and sweep them, right? So we're going to start seeing these rivalries. We're going to start seeing all these things happen and unfold. So this is where the test for the Yankees is. They're playing the Padres this week, and the Padres are playing great baseball. We're trying to see who's the best division out there. It looks like the West, the NL West, is the best so far because you have all these teams playing, winning 22 plus games already. You know, so that's just surprising to me right now. So, but yeah, if the East, like the New York Yankees division, if they want to be the competitive division, they have to win against the Padres, and I do not see that happening. Like I said, I'm seeing Judge getting injured, and you highlighted a great pitcher, Max Fried. If he goes down, who's going to pitch in that spot? So,
I'm afraid that Max Fried goes down.
Yeah, so if you're a Yankee fan, like I would start looking at those things because there hasn't been a season Aaron Judge does not go to the IL since I remember. I could be wrong, right? But I just feel, and you kept saying last year They're judge dependent, and ever since we started this podcast, judge
Yeah,
dependency, it's huge and it's real.
yeah. I mean, bringing Juan Soto was a big thing for them last year. And I thought it made a huge impact, bigger support for him that he much needed. But now you lose a star like Juan Soto, and you definitely desperately need another bat to pick it up. Jason Dominguez hasn't been underperforming. Austin, well, he's not. I mean, they have their flashes, right? But they need somebody to take that role and be like a Tommy Tanks, for example. Teoscar Hernandez in the middle of the lineup. And they don't have that. So
Yeah.
The Yankee team desperately needs help.
All right. So what series are you looking forward to seeing this weekend? I mean, not weekend, but the start of the week. We have the Padres, Yankees. We have the Cubs, San Francisco. That's number 2. We have another one. Let me look at the other series that are popping up.
I mean, got Rangers, Red Sox.
Rangers, Red Sox, which is a good one as well. And
I want to say I'm looking forward to the Cubs and Giants. I want to see if the Giants are for real. And I think this is going to be a real test for the San Francisco Giants and see how could they handle an actual playoff contending team.
Yeah.
I feel like the Giants have had not the easiest schedule, but they haven't had a tough schedule.
Yeah.
And
they have
so I want to see how they handle a NL Central team and a team that's on first place right now.
Yeah. We talked about it last week. We were saying, okay, now they're going to test it. They're going to test it against the Padres. And the Padres took 2 out of that little series there. They took the 2 games. So we did see that sweep there. That mini sweep is still a sweep. And yeah, I think I like that series as well. I also like the other series that I'm going to kind of like. The second one I'll pick. Oh, which one did I say? Where's it at?
We have the Yankees Padres or the
Yankees Padres. Yeah, the Yankees Padres, because I do want to see the Yankees see what they're gonna do. If they're a contending team, because I don't think Max Fried is gonna pitch in this series. I think Max Fried pitched this weekend. So we're gonna get to see the Yankee pitching staff going after a well hitting team, the Padres. So that's a test for both of them, I think.
Yeah.
Being in a hostile environment out in New York for the Padres, and then not only that, the Yankees playing a great team, and the Padres, they have pitching, they have bullpen, and they have great hitting. So that's a great one. But yeah, those 2 series I'll look out for definitely, because those are going to be the top series for me. Any other series that you see that's coming up later on in this week that we did not mention? I don't see any other one. The Tigers in Colorado. Maybe we'll get to see a lot more runs out in Colorado on that one. The way that the Detroit Tigers are playing, maybe they'll get way more runs.
The weekend series, we got the Rangers and Tigers. See if the Rangers could bounce back and face this hot Tigers team.
Yeah.
And then you have the Dodgers D-backs, which is a good, always divisional rival. And the D-backs always have that dog on them against that Dodger team. Offensively, they get it together. I don't know how, but they bring in the spark of runs and
challenge. They always find a way. They always find a way. I hate it, but it's great for baseball. All right. So, I mean, we already reached that point in time that we're going to go ahead and log off. I mean, if you guys like us getting on in the morning, let us know. If you guys didn't like us getting on at Sunday night, let us know as well. If there's any other day you guys want to, well, we prefer these 2 days because we can get a lot done in this weekend and we can get all the recap for you guys. And of course, our power rankings and have the topics for you guys. But, Ernie, last mentions, man.
Well, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening to our show on a weekly basis. I just want to say thank you. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe if you're a first-time listener. We really appreciate it. We're trying to grow to 1,000 subscribers pretty soon, and we want to continue growing this channel. We like to provide you the hottest news and hottest takes in baseball. So thank you for tuning in.
Definitely. And if you guys have a chance to do other social media, we do have Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, even X on there. We have a Spotify channel. You guys can go ahead and subscribe there. And if you guys don't want to look at me and Ernie's face, it's okay. It's all right. You know, you don't have to. You can just listen to it as you're riding in your car. But yeah, I'll leave it there. From all of us in Real Talk Baseball and CarloBaseball, this is Ernie Orange. Real Talk Baseball, signing out.